So, off we go. France and Heimstede. Oh yeah, it might help if I have my watch. Otherwise, I'll keep you ladies in class for 3 hours instead of 1 hour and 15 minutes. So, warm welcome. We usually follow, like Caroline and Steffi, you will know this because you followed my classes before. We usually follow like a rolling roster with the themes. So it's standing postures, balancing, back bends, forward bends, sitting postures, and inversions. And then we start all over again. The standing postures are always a base, so they are in every class. And last week was the first of these Corona classes. So we did standing, only standing. Tonight, we're gonna have a mix of standing and balancing. So let's just see how it goes. And the classes, unless you have, some of you have like a subscription with some of the yoga studios, and otherwise they're on donation basis. So we're just gonna start sitting. So just take your time to sit as comfortable as possible for you. So because I'm in cross-legged, it doesn't mean that you have to be in cross-legged. You can sit on your knees. You can sit with the legs straight. You can sit on a chair. You could even skip the sitting and come lie on the back with the knees bent and the feet in the floor. So whatever way you choose, just make it as comfortable as possible. And just gently close your eyes and allow yourself to lean into the floor. Just feeling the touch of the sitting bones in the floor. Allow your hands to relax and rest wherever you feel that your shoulders are comfortable. Quite often, when we keep the elbows under the shoulders or a little bit behind the shoulders, it's really relaxing for both your shoulders and your hands. So you might want to check if that works for you. Feel the back of the neck long. And feel the back of the head wide. And as you feel yourself rooting into the ground, just become aware of the space that surrounds your body. Maybe you can even feel a slight touch of the air in your hands, around the neck and the face. Maybe the arms. And also consciously become aware of the space behind you. Behind your back, the neck, and the back of the head. And just give yourself the permission to take the time and the space to just sit for a few minutes. And as we sit, I'd just like to share a small poem by Rumi, the Sufi poet. It's called Inside This River. Inside this river, there is a moon, which is not a reflection. From the river bottom, the moon speaks. I travel in continuous conversation with the river as it goes. Whatever is above and seemingly outside this river is actually in it. Merge with it, in here or out there, as you please. This is the river of rivers and the beautiful silence of endless talking. So as you sense your sitting bones rooting deeper and deeper into the floor, become aware how the neck widens and how your skull, your head, can really rest on top of the neck, like a vase on a beautiful pedestal. Let your lower jaw drop a little while keeping the lips soft together. And you might feel some width at the back of the throat, like the beginning of a yawn. And if you get the reflex to yawn, just yawn. Don't hold it in. And then we're gently going to come back any way that works for you. So if your legs are screaming out to elongate straight away, just let them elongate. And if you want to bend forward in a yoga mudra, that's fine too. Or if you want to do anything else, of course, that's fine as well. So eventually elongating the legs, we're going to come lie on the back and just take a few moments just to sense first what your body needs after the sitting. What is your body asking for? And as you're lying on the back, gently bend the knees and place the feet behind the pelvis on a comfortable distance. And also keep the feet on a comfortable distance apart. If you'd like, you can turn the toes slightly in and the heels slightly out. So let the knees lean towards each other. And just observe, where would you rather keep your arms? Would you want to keep them in what's called the savasana opening, diagonally away from you with the palms open? Or would you rather place your hands on your belly or on your solar plexus or anywhere else? And just allow yourself to lean into the floor, feeling the weight of the feet, the weight of your pelvis, of your sacrum, feeling the weight of the shoulder blades, of the elbows, and of the back of the head. And then gently become aware of the air that is moving through the nostrils. And just keep observing the movement of the breath through your nostrils. Just following your exhalation and your inhalation. And take some time to check if your breath feels smooth. Are there any breaks in the breath? Or can it gently start flowing like one circle? From your exhalation, moving into the inhalation, and then from the inhalation, moving into the exhalation. And then gently start to become aware a little bit more of the left side. So feel your left foot heavy in the floor. Feel the left side of your pelvis, your left buttock in the floor. Your left shoulder blades, your left elbow. And just become aware of your left hand, of your left ear, your left eye, and your left nostril. And just watch the air exhaling out of the left nostril, almost down to the left foot. And inhaling as if you're inhaling from your left foot up to your left nostril. If you like, you can take your left hand and with the ring finger, you can gently close the right nostril. If that feels really claustrophobic and uncomfortable, just remove the hand and do it without hand. And just keep following your exhalation from your left nostril all the way to your left foot. And the inhalation from your left foot all the way to your left nostril. After your next inhalation, release the hand if you're working with the hand. And we're going to start moving to the right side with the awareness. So become aware of your right foot heavy. Become aware of the right side of your pelvis. Your right buttock becomes heavy. Feel your right shoulder blade heavy. Your right elbow heavy. Become aware of your right ear and your right eye. And sense the air moving through the right nostril. And just gently start to follow your exhalation from the right nostril all the way down to the right foot. And the inhalation from the right foot all the way up to the right nostril. If you'd like, you can take your right hand and with your right ring finger, you can gently close the left nostril. But if that feels in any way uncomfortable, just work without hands. So keep exhaling from the right nostril down to the right foot. And inhaling as if from your right foot all the way up to the right nostril. After your next inhalation, release the hand if you're working with the hand. And exhaling on the left side, allow the next 3 in and exhalations come in the middle. So we're really breathing in and out through 2 nostrils along the 2 sides of the spine. And then just relax the attention, relax any intention, and just observe from the inside out how your body and the space inside you feels right now. And then we're going to bend the knees one at a time towards us. We allow the arms to fall more to the side with the palms facing up. And then we allow the legs to roll to the right. Maybe your left hand comes off the floor. That's completely fine. Right hand on your left thigh or knee. Turn your left shoulder blade down. And just allow yourself to look gently up in the ceiling. Releasing your right arm. Leaning into the right arm, roll back to the center. And feel the weight starting to shift into your left arm. As the knees roll to the left, it could be that your right arm comes off the floor. That's fine. Left hand on your right leg, the right shoulder blade turning down in the back. Allow the jaw to drop a bit. Releasing the left arm, we're going to roll back in the center. And just take some time to really land in your sacrum. As you're exhaling, you feel your belly moving, especially the space underneath your belly button, moving towards the sacrum. And as we inhale, we want to keep that strength, that a little bit of activity there. So we're inhaling towards the back. So a few times, exhaling towards the lower belly, what we call samana vayu. And inhaling from samana vayu to the sacrum. Next exhalation, really root the sacrum in the floor. And on the inhalation, we elongate the feet up towards the ceiling or where Christelle is, towards the sky. Next exhalation, the feet want to move towards your right hand and maybe not all the way down to the hand because we want to keep a controlled motion. On the inhalation, you're coming back, just landing. On the exhalation, direction your left hand. And on the inhalation, coming back. Exhale towards the right hand. Inhale back. Exhale towards the left hand. Inhaling, coming back. 2 more times per side. In your rhythm. And when you're ready, just bend the knees, hug the knees in, Let the jaw relax. You can yawn a few times if you like. Yawning is the best way to release the shoulders and the neck and the jaws. And then we're going to roll to the right. And we're going to roll on up to come on the hands and the knees for the cat and the cow. So we'd like to place the knees under the hips and the hands just a little bit in front of the shoulders. So here they are really under the shoulders, and that's really, really heavy on my wrist. So I want to place the hands a little bit forward, and I really want to spread my hands. So I'd like to get my little finger and my thumb as wide from each other, as far away from each other as possible. And then just take some time to relax the head. So leaning into the fingertips, releasing the head. And then when you exhale, think of cat's claws going through your yoga mat, like cat's claws on a couch, rounding the back. As you inhale, elongate your tailbone and your shoulder blades back. Allow the chest to gently open and make really big eyes. Think of those big brown eyes of a cow. As you're exhaling, cat's claws and around the back. As you're inhaling, cow's eyes and the hollow back. And just search a rhythm that works for you. And just keep moving in any rhythm that works good for you. And the next time we are in the center, in the table position, we're gonna release the head, place the knees together and the feet a bit apart. So you feel especially the big toe on the floor. We're gonna lean the fingertips wide again. So we're going to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. But your front paws, your fingers are actually more like lizard hands. And as we really lean those lizard hands down, fingertips down and forward, you notice length coming in the arms, and you might even feel a slightly rounded upper back. Keep the length in the arms and let your pelvis move back. And it's okay if your upper back feels a little rounded still, because soon your toes are in the floor. As you release the knees and you start elongating the heels back, your back will become long. And if it feels like a bit of a fight, keep your knees forward and your pelvis back. So anyone who has a dog in their house, or often see dogs, we notice, or we know that the back leg of dogs have this little bend in them. They have the knees forward all the time. We want to keep this length, and we're going to start leaning into the right hand and the left foot and completely relax the head. And just keep leaning in your right hand and your left foot. You'll notice that your right foot becomes lighter. And now we're gently going to switch, leaning into your left hand and your right foot. Keeping a long, relaxed neck, soft face. Bending the knees forward again. Pelvis moving back. We have two long arms. We have gecko hands. And then we elongate two heels back, really elongating from the ball of the big toe. Relaxing the head. Letting the heels come up. Knees move forward and together. And then the feet touch, not entirely. It's just the ball of the big toe space touching. And as you move back, maybe the inner middle foot, but the further you move back, the more your heels slide apart. We try to keep the heels as much together as possible. It's impossible to keep them entirely together, and that's also not the intention. We just want to get some activity into the foot. Once you feel it's enough, just relax the feet. And let's say this is not working at all. It's painful. It's not nice at all. What you can do is you grab a blanket or a towel and you make a roll. And you place that as close to the back of the knees as possible. And you come sit on the blanket. This is really nice if you have really stiff calves after running or hiking or snowboarding as well. Let's say this isn't working either. Just come sit with your legs forward or in cross-legged on your pillow. So we're gonna allow the arms to move back and to the sides, sorry, forwards, then to the sides. And then we're gonna bend the elbows and we're gonna grab either the elbows or the lower arms. And as we exhale, we're really gonna lean into the pelvis. We're really gonna sit. As you inhale, you pull the elbows a little bit towards each other. Exhale, really sit. Inhale, elbows coming a bit closer. Releasing the arms. We want to try now to place the hands in Namaste behind the back. And Namaste is the prayer position with your fingertips pointing up. So, you turn to the back. Arms move back. Then forwards, and it's like you're going for a swim. Really spread the fingers to the sides. As you're behind the back, you bend the elbows, touch the fingertips, and then you turn the hands up. You might do this a lot easier than me. I have very stiff shoulders. It's taken me years to get to this position. Here you might notice that as we place the hands where they are, the back becomes a bit banana. So that we're going to counteract by exhaling to the lower belly to Samanavaya. Inhaling towards the back. Exhaling. Samanavaya, lower belly moving in. Inhaling towards the back and allow your elbows to move a bit more back. One more time. From here, we're going to move forward, keeping the buttocks heavy even if they come up. Let the forehead land on the floor. And then release the hands and just coming into baby pose for a short while. Let the arms, the hands walk forward, spreading the fingertips, placing the toes, making wide hands. We're going into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Fingertips moving down and forward. Heels moving back. We have long arms, long legs, relaxed neck and jaw. Lifting the heels up, gently walking to the front of the mat to Uttanasana. Wide feet, and bend the knees until you can feel your belly or maybe your entire upper body on the sides. Relax the head, relax the face. Leaning into wide feet, rolling your pelvis back. Chest forwards, we come up and we land. And just observe, are your feet on a comfortable distance apart, or do you want to move them closer or further apart? We're going to move into a few sun salutations. So however you stand, spread the toes, make your feet wide in Tadasana, and just start bending the knees until you really feel, it's like your toes are spreading, your feet are spreading like those fans that you have if it's really hot weather, like solar fan, we call them in Swedish. And then you might notice when your knees are slightly bent and your feet are really rooting, you place your hand on the lower belly and you notice there's activity there. It's not like fluff hanging out. It's active. This activation comes from the ball of the big toe. And as we're now exhaling to this place, Samana Vayu, you feel your feet sinking even more. As you're inhaling towards the back, you feel that you automatically want to elongate the legs. So that's what we do. And then the arms come as wings out of your back. Exhale and root, you might want to slightly bend, just leaning more into the feet. Inhaling towards the back, just become like a big winged bird. One more time. Exhale and root. Inhale, just really float into that space. Pelvis is moving back, just keep breathing. Releasing the fingertips to the floor, relax the head. Leaning into the feet. Coming up with the upper body till you're on your fingertips. Bending the knees. We're first just going to walk back to high plank. Taking the time. Heels moving back. Chest moving forward. Keep breathing. Knees land. Feet are rooting. The chest opens and we make big eyes. Knees land for downward facing dog. Hands take a step back. And then we can really spread out the hands like you're coloring with finger paint. Elongating the heels back. Fingertips moving down and forward. Head is totally relaxed. Heels come up. Knees come forwards and down. Then we take a little walk to the front of the mat. Making wide feet. Leaning the pelvis back. Chest moving forward. Just come up and land. Exhale and root. Inhaling. Just grab all the space that you can. Social distancing, right? Pelvis moving back. Fingertips land, relax the head. Leaning into the floor. Allow your chest to come up a bit. Bending the knees. And just take a walk to the high plank. Feel the two directions. Your heels are elongating back. Your chest are elongating forward. Knees are landing. Feet are rooting. Chest and the eyes are opening. Knees down. Hands moving back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Your two directions are fingertips down and forward. Heels moving back from the ball of the big toe. Heels coming up. Knees down and forwards. And we take a little walk to the front of the mat. Relaxing Uttanasana. Leaning the pelvis back. Chest coming forward. And come back and land. Exhale and root. Inhale and wide. Pelvis leaning into the space behind you. Fingertips land. Elongate a bit up. Bending the knees. Heels come up. And we can walk or jump or a mix of the two to the back of the mat with the feet to high plank. Heels back, chest forward. If your plank feels really stable, bend your elbows back along the body. And then drop the knees, rooting the toes, upward facing dog. Knees down, hands move back, downward facing dog. Take time to get into the posture. It's like building a house. You always take your time with the foundation and with the pillars, the skeleton of the house. Seems to take forever if you're building a house, but once that is done, the rest is fast. It's the same with the asanas. Heels moving up, knees down and forwards. Walk or jump, or a little mix to the front of the mat. Relaxing in Uttanasana. Pelvis moving back. And chest moving forwards. And just relax the arms. So we're going to move into Parsvottanasana. Keeping your right foot in the floor. Your left foot steps back and it's on the hip width. So if I'm turning forwards, so you can see me, that means I really let my leg step back. Sometimes we step a little bit too narrow and then we don't have any balance. So we want to stay wide, hips pointing forward. And first I want to bend my front knee, because then I can root a bit more. Arms moving back and forward. We're going to place the hands in Namaste on the back or grabbing the lower arms or the elbows. Take your time. Leaning into the ball of the big toes. Legs become long. Chest elongates up and just look up with really big eyes. Keep your back foot heavy. Moving forward. We bend the front knee and we relax the head. Now, as you elongate your front leg, your belly will turn a little bit to the right. Feel your elbows pulling back. That allows you to come up and relax the arms. We're going to swap sides. So we step forward, leaning into the left. Right foot steps back. And just check that you're on hip width or even a bit wider, at least not narrower. Front knee bent. Arms go a bit like a pendulum back and then forward. Spreading the fingers, making space in the shoulders. Hands in Namaste or just grabbing the lower arms or the elbows. Leaning into the feet, legs tall, chest opening up. Keeping weight in the back foot, leaning forward. Bend the front knee and drop the head. Elongating the front leg. Feel your belly turning by itself a bit to the left. Leaning into the feet, gently coming up. Relax the arms. Yay, stepping forward. Was kind of easy, right? So we're going to build on this, because we said balancing postures. So we're going to go back to our first side. Right foot stays where it is. Left foot is stepping back. Allow the arms to move back. And then forward. Make space, so spread the fingers. Hands in Namaste on the back or grabbing your elbows or the lower arms. Parsvottanasana, long legs, open chest, open eyes. Back foot heavy, chest moving forwards. Bend the front knee, drop the head. Make both legs long and feel yourself turning a bit to the right. We're going to release the hands. Your right hand stays on your sacrum and your left hand it falls to the floor. We bend the front knee and with the left arm we walk forwards like it's a spider. And if we move over the foot, you're going to feel your back foot becoming light. Bend your back leg. Exhale and root. Inhale. Elongate the legs. and turn a bit to the right. Bend your front knee, elongate your back foot back. When it lands, your left hand comes on the outside of your front of your right leg. As you elongate the legs and come up, we come into Parivrita Trikonasana, the twisted triangle. We're going to relax the hands. We're going to turn with the belly forward. The front knee is going to come over the ankle, and your back heel is going to elongate back. So we're kind of in a very long Virabhadrasana 1. We're going to lean forward. We're going to help the knee to the left. Left elbow crosses the knee. Hands are touching. Your back heel elongates back. Your front knee elongates forward. And you're turning to the right. You're going to come back to the center, placing the hands, stepping forward, and just rest. Relax. Gently leaning back up. Take some time to land. I'll turn around. We're leaning into the left. Right foot steps back. Keep your front knee bent. Elongate your arms back. Forward. To the sides. Hands maybe in namaste on the back. Or grabbing the lower arms. Or the elbows. As you sink into the feet, your legs become long. Chest opens up and we open up the eyes. Leading into the back foot, chest moves forward. Bend your front knee and drop the head. Elongate your front leg. And feel yourself turning a bit to the left. We're going to release the hands. Your left hand stays on your sacrum. Your right hand falls to the floor and it's going to start walking forward. So we're going to follow. Your front knee comes over the ankle and your back foot starts to become loose. So bend the knee. Exhale and root. Inhale, elongate, feel your belly turning a bit to the left. We allow the front knee to come forward. The back heel to move back. And when the back heel lands, the right hand, your front hand, comes on the outside of your left leg. Elongating the legs, allow your pelvis to move back and your chest to come up a bit. You're going to be turning to the left by yourself. We release both arms. Back heel comes up. Your front knee is moving forward, so your chest comes up first. We're kind of in a beginning of a very long Virabhadrasana 1. We're leaning forward. We're going to help the knee to the right. Elbow crosses. Hands are touching. Now your back heel moves back. The front knee moves forward. And that means you're going to be turning automatically almost to the left. Coming back to the center. Placing the hands. Stepping forward. Really relaxing Uttanasana. So check if you want to keep your feet maybe a bit wider. Allowing the knees to bend if you like. And really let the head hang. So you want to have long gorilla arms. Big, heavy elephant feet. Leaning into the floor. Rolling the chest. Rolling the pelvis back. Chest forward. We're going to come up and land. So, we're going to go into Virabhadrasana 1 with a bit shorter distance than what we had just now. Virabhadrasana 1 is the warrior number 1. Again, I start with my right foot in the floor. And my left foot steps back. again on hip width. And then I turn a bit to the left so that my back heel can land. My front knee, my right knee, I actually let it also turn in a bit. So then my heel comes up. So I'm on the ball of the big toe. Hands are on the chest. Now I want to turn to the front of the mat from my foot, which is a little bit twisted. So from the ball of the big toe, I'm turning forward. And then you might feel that your back heel wants to slide back. If I do it from the side, it's a little bit easier to see. Here I'm turning. And when I'm almost completely there with my front foot straight, I feel it might be nice if I let my back heel move back a bit and I have more space. So my hips are pointing forwards. My knee comes above the ankle. And you're automatically a bit banana again here, but we want to make it less. So we're exhaling to Samana Vayus' lower belly. And let your pelvis sink a bit. Inhale, arms wide. Exhale, let your pelvis sink and your hands come forward. Hands come down. And we're stepping forward. We're going to change sides. So the left foot stays. Right foot moves back and we're approximately heel in line with the heel. I turn more to the right and then my left knee turns in. I'm on the ball of the big toe and that's the one that's rooting and steering right now. So from the ball of the big toe, I'm turning to the front of the mat, allowing my back heel to slide. Really let your pelvis sink. Your knee is above the ankle or maybe even a little bit in front. Exhale and root. Inhale wide. As your pelvis sinks, your hands move forward and maybe up. Exhale and root, including the pelvis. Inhale, make space. Hands come down. We're stepping forward. Now we're going to move from Tadasana through the sun salutation or halfway through the sun salutation to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhale and root. Inhale wide. Pelvis moving back. Fingertips land. Head is relaxed. Leaning into the feet, your legs become long. Bending the knees, heels coming up. Walk or jump to Chaturanga, high plank. Heels back, chest forward. If you like, bend the elbows. Otherwise, just allow the knees to land a bit earlier. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, in your own rhythm. Relaxing the head. As you keep your head hanging, you can easily see your feet. So we want to move the feet now as wide as the mat. And then we're going to bend the knees forward, pelvis moving back, as long as we can. Then the knees land. Let the big toes touch. Pelvis moving back. Bend your elbows a bit more towards you so they come lower than the shoulders. And relax the head. So baby pose with the head on the floor or maybe on the hands. Or you could also make two fists. Place them on top of each other. And rest your forehead on the fist. Allow your pelvis to sink with every exhalation. So baby pose is sometimes a little bit underestimated because we see it very often as a resting posture. resting pose. But it's also a very, very efficient hip opener. And if you take the time to do baby pose 5 minutes per day for a few weeks, you'll be surprised at what happens with your hips, your ankles, your lower back. And when that gets space, it will have an effect on your shoulders and your neck too. So just allow your hands to move forwards and gently coming up in your own rhythm to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. From here, we want to go into a squat, a low squat. So we'd like to take the feet a bit forward and to the side of the mat. And then the pelvis moves back. We bend the knees and we walk back with the hands. And you might turn your feet out here. However we turn the feet or not turn the feet, we want to keep the knees in line with the heels. If this comes really easy, fine, just stay here. If this is a bit of a hassle and your heels are up, you could either roll your mat or a blanket or a towel or something and use that under the heels. And that will make it easier. So for the coming 5-6 minutes, we're gonna work in and out of Bakasana, crane pose. Some people call it crow, I don't know why, but I'll find out. And whenever you feel that you wanna come out of where we are now, out of the squat, just come out. Because for some people, this is a heavenly posture, and for others, it's pure torture. But trust me, it was pure torture for me for many, many years. It becomes nice, but don't force it. So. Maybe we already have the arms inside the legs. If not, we place them there. And now we want to push the elbows to the sides. When you do that, you will notice that your legs push back, and that's exactly what we want to do. We want to have contact, like a sticky contact between your arms and the inside of your knees. Placing the palms together. And if you like, you can move a little bit from side to side. And you can always come out and sit and watch this one, because we're going to do it a few times. So, Bakasana. I'm actually already in the posture when I'm here. Because the posture is the stuckness and the hip opening that you feel right now. Which means if I'm already in the posture, I need my elbows to stay where they are. So in a bit, when I elongate my arms, my hands, I want to keep my elbows where they are. So look how wide my hands are. If I allow my hands to become more narrow or towards each other, I lose the contact with my legs. So keeping my elbows to the side, allowing the fingertips to land one at a time. I'm doing it from the side now, and I'll do it from the front in a bit. I'm going to move forwards. I'm going to lift one foot first, and let it land. And then the other foot. And I come back. If that feels good, or we could do that for a few months, that's fine. But if this feels good, I'm doing the same. Hands as wide as my elbows. I come a bit forward. One foot comes up, and then maybe the other. And then you come back. If that is easy peasy, my next step will be to let the big toes touch, like they say, like hello. So 1, 2, big toes are touching, This is when you really feel like a crane, like a big bird. And then you're coming back. We can do this one 3 to 5, 6 times, not more than 6. Then when you go over 6, when it comes to balancing and back bends, you become very energetic and it's evening. So you don't want to do more than 6. Of course, you can do less. From the front, wide hands, one foot up, and the other touching, coming back, or just lifting one, coming back, resting, and the other. So if you want, one more. Leaning forwards, one foot up, then the other, feet touching, coming back, fall on your ass, and release the legs. Keep your feet a bit wide, and just grab the thighs and just allow the knees to roll a bit. And then we go in cross-legged, interlocking the hands, rolling the wrists a bit forward, and then back. And then we're going to change. So we're going to place the other thumb above, roll a little bit forwards, and a little bit back. In the beginning, or just shake the hands, Bakasana can be a little hard on the wrist when we're moving slow in and out. The more you do it, the more you're on the fingertips the whole time. But if you feel pain in the wrist, just come out of it. We want to avoid that at all costs. We're going to place the right hand with the palm facing up on the leg or the knee. And we're going to elongate the hand until your arm is long. And then we're going to grab the little finger and just stretch it a bit towards you. Then your ring finger. Then your middle finger. Your index finger. And the thumb. And just shake your hand. Left hand, elongated forwards, your palm is facing up. Little finger, a little stretch. Ring finger. Middle finger. Index finger. And the thumb. And shake. So we're going to start sort of, I'm trying to find the word in English. Deconstructing the practice a bit. So we're going to come to the front of the mat, bending the knees, grabbing the knees from the side. So we're going to just hang until your arms are long. And we're going to lean back, keeping resistance as long as you can with the feet. And eventually you come on the lower back, grab your head, let the feet land one at a time. And as you elongate your neck with your hands, you roll gently down, vertebra by vertebra. And then release the arms with the palms facing up. So feel your pelvis wide. And you sense your sacrum a little bit more than the rest of the sacrum in the floor, or the rest of the pelvis in the floor. Let your feet come on hip width, or maybe a little bit wider. Turn your heels out, spreading the toes. And as your toes are pointing in, but as you spread them and you allow them to land, your feet are already starting to turn a bit. So leaning into the feet, turning them straight, your pelvis becomes light. Exhale, really rooting the feet. That allows your pelvis to move up. Inhale, elongate the tailbone between the knees. Exhale, rooting the feet. Inhaling, really long tailbone, like you have a real tail and someone's standing in front of your knees, pulling at your tail. Just stay for a few more breaths and then keep resistance with the feet. Gently roll back down, vertebra by vertebra, allowing the pelvis to land and just relax. Let the feet come a teeny bit closer and a teeny bit wider. We start with the heels out. And then we start turning the feet straight, leaning into the toes and the heels, pelvis moving up. Exhale and root. Inhale, really long tail. If you want to here, you can grab the side of your mat with your hands. And as you really plant the feet firmly through the floor, you can pull the mat towards you. Releasing the mat, rolling down. Pelvis is landing and relax. Last posture. So bend the knees, roll to the right. And grab your belt, or if you have a scarf or a sock or even your shirt or anything that is a little long. So we can sit with the knees slightly bent. And then we elongate the feet and just let them be a bit relaxed. So what I want to do from this relaxed state of the feet, I want to roll the middle of the heel into the floor. And then you notice that you become a bit taller. And the feet come a bit towards you, and then you elongate the ball of the big toe away from you. So your feet look really weird. But your posture goes from hanging to, by rooting the heels, and ball of the big toes forward, to pretty straight posture. Grab your belt or your scarf or whatever you're using. Throw it like a lasso on top of the feet. Exhale, rooting your heels and your sacrum. Inhale, bend the elbows back. Feeling your chest elongating. Make sure you're not arching the lower back. You want to have a full back. So I'm exhaling to Samanavaya. Inhaling along the back. And my back wants to be like a sail, on a full sail on a sailing boat. Even a spinnaker. And then we walk a little bit forwards, but keep thinking of that big spinnaker, the big sail that is your back. So exhale, rooting all four sitting bones. So your heels are two sitting bones right now. Inhaling, fill that sail, your back is a sail. And then walk a bit forwards with the hands. If you're at the feet with your hands, bend the elbows down and a bit out. And then relax the head. If you're not at the feet with the hands, relax the grip of your belt and place the hands under the calves. And then elbows to the side. Release the hands. Gently roll on up. And it's time for savasana, for the relaxation. So if you have a shirt and socks that you want to grab, go ahead. Make sure you have a blanket or something warm to put on top of you. And maybe you'd like to put something under the head, like a thin blanket or something. And somebody might be really luxurious and have something for underneath. You never know. Either way, take all the time you need to come lie as comfortable as possible in Shavasana. And when you are in Shavasana, again, take the time to observe, are my feet and my legs on a comfortable distance apart? Are my shoulders, my arms, and my hands comfortable? Do I want to keep my palms up or down? Is my head in line with the spine? So be comfortable. And then gently closing the eyes, allowing yourself to lean deeper and deeper towards the back of the body. Feeling your heels heavy. Calves are soft. And feel space in the knees. Allow the thighs to become soft. So both the front and the back of the thighs are soft. Allow the groins to melt. And allow the pelvis to be heavy. Relaxing the belly. And observing how the warmth from the belly that you have generated gently spreads towards the back. And feel that warmth spreading in the lower back, along the sides of the body, along the spine. Feel your two shoulder blades warm, wide, and heavy. The arms are long and soft. Elbows are resting. Palms are warm. Fingertips soft. Feel the throat relaxing, the neck becoming wide. The lower jaw releases. The lips become soft. Feel the cheeks melting. The nostrils are warm and wide. Allowing the eyes to lean backwards in the sockets to relax. Relaxing the forehead. And even allowing the brain to lean a little bit more back to relax against the back of the head. Just allow for yourself to be carried, to be held by the earth. And with every gentle exhalation, you allow for everything that you don't need anymore. Old used energy, old things, stuff that is bugging you that you don't need anymore. Allow for that to sink into the earth. And observe how Mother Earth lovingly receives that from you and transmutes it into fertile soil. And then with every gentle inhalation, you are breathing in light, new, fresh energy. And just feel this light moving in and traveling through the oxygen in your blood to every cell and every organ in your body. And you just become this sparkling light from the inside out. And you feel that light filling your hands, the palms, the soles of your feet. And as you gently wiggle the hands and the feet, the fingers and the toes, that light is spreading out into the world. So gently start inhaling a little deeper. And slowly bending the knees one at a time. Allowing yourself to roll to the right side. And just let all your weight melt to the right side. And then when you are ready, using your left hand to gently roll on up. And we just come and sit with the eyes closed for a few moments. Just a few moments for yourself to really land in this energy that you created for yourself and to soak it in. Yoga Mudra. A little forward bend to seal the practice. Namaste. And thank you, girls. I'll come on closer.